AI songs are now being recognized as valuable. And specifically with this human person who is generating the AI music, this is kind of interesting for me. And I dug deep on this, okay? On an initial kind of listening, and I'm gonna play this for a sec so you guys can get some context of what we're talking about here.
An AI artist literally just got $3 million from a record label. And in today's video, we got the music attorney, in fact, the top music attorney, diving deep into it, breaking down every single thing that actually has to do with this record deal and educating us musicians on how to actually get our own bag as well. So definitely make sure to watch some of our content because she has some good stuff on her channel. Let's get into it.
AI artist and AI creator, right? However you want to kind of phrase it. But the bidding reportedly reached almost $3 million to sign Zanaya Monet. I've also seen it Zanaya Monet, but we'll say just Monet. So the AI artist Monet has signed with Hollywood Media. And actually, do you remember this is the same record label that had signed the first one that we reported on, which is I'm Oliver. We're going to talk about that. But in any case, they've now signed a second AI creator. And this is a record label that is led by a former Interscope executive. This is Neil Jacobson, right? So, in adding to a roster with a multi-million-dollar agreement, I'm like, what does this tell me? What does this tell all of us? Well, what this tells me is that AI songs are now being recognized as valuable. And specifically with this human person who is generating the AI music, this is kind of interesting for me. And I dug deep on this, okay? On an initial kind of listening, and I'm gonna play this for a sec so you guys can get some context of what we're talking about here. And I went through the catalog here, but to me, the voice in almost every instance sounds either like Beyonce, Ariana Grande, Jennifer Hudson, and or Rihanna, and sometimes combined with all of them. And the AI music was made on Suno. So I guess let's take a quick listen.
Now, I'm not going to play the music because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but what I was saying to you guys the other day when I was actually reacting to it, I was saying the fact that as creators, as songwriters, producer engineers, anyone within the field that's actually making the music, after I was obviously upset at the whole fact and obviously talking about Kalani, Scissor, all these people are not actually happy with what's going on. The second side of it, and what I was saying in the video, was the fact that there must be something that this AI artist is able to achieve that we're missing in today's day and age. Whether it's, the lyricism, whether it's the melody traces, whether it's, the ability to evoke some sort of emotion from their fans and the people that are actually listening. You know what I mean? And in saying that, that's the reason why I believe it's done so well, because when I'm looking at the comments of this AI artist, I'm typically seeing, this song meant so much to me, reminded me of this, it done that. And when I actually go to real artists' comments, I'm not seeing those same reactions at all. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting anyways. But let's fast forward because I don't want to get that copyrighty.
Yesterday, as I was kind of working through this, and I just go, I can hear that it's AI music because it still has that buzzy, high end, it needs to be EQ'd kind of thing happening that we hear with AI music. But here's the thing. The purpose of music is to connect. The purpose of music is to resonate with people and to connect on an emotional level. And the creator, the human creator, Talisha Jones, is actually a lyricist, right? So we'll say a lyricist.
She literally just said what I literally just said. I'm bearing in mind watching this in real time. So yeah, interesting.
A poet, and we're going to dive in on basically the creation method here. But nonetheless, we're talking about a multi-million-dollar deal for AI music. And I want to know how that's making you guys feel. Now, in the how it's making artists feel category, we had a response from Kalani, who is a very successful artist. As I was looking today, she has over 27 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And this is what she had to say.
It's so beyond out of our control. And nothing and no one on earth will ever be able to justify AI to me, especially not AI in the creative arts in which people have worked hard for, trained for, slept on the floor for, and got injuries for, worked for their entire lives. I'm sorry. I don't respect it.
This is so beyond out of our control. And actually on the Monet AI song that I played, I believe the streams on that is about 2.3 million. So it's not just the record deal. It's that, of course, the record deal, the offer comes where there is something to monetize. And I guess what I was thinking through, I'm like, are we surprised that labels are now trying to monetize AI music? The highest bidders so far are not the major record labels. And I go, why is that? Well, I'm guessing because the major record labels are suing Suno right now. And so they have a little bit of a conflict if they sign an artist who is making music from Suno. I can't speak for them, okay? But nonetheless, are we surprised that record labels are now trying to just monetize AI music? So we know that, of course, music has been commoditized, it's been commercialized.
I also feel as if though with the smaller record labels, it's always been like that in history anyways, but the big record labels are probably waiting to see the type of success that the small record labels are able to achieve with these AI artists before obviously sign them onto the bigger record labels. And outside of that, we always see it, man, with anything like Bitcoin, for example. Bitcoin had pushback at the beginning. All of a sudden, now we're at a stage where, you know, it's not widely adopted by the entire public, but is way more adopted than ever in history before. And I can even show you charts and stuff like that, documenting that. And because I've known about Bitcoin for a very long time, I'd say like since I was in secondary school, I've seen it in real time. Like one of the biggest mistakes that I made was not putting at least, you know, half of what I earned or even 10% of what I earned back then, man. When I was making the small change from like playing the keyboard in church and stuff like that, bro, I should have just tucked it away. But like I always say, if we knew the outcome of things, we would probably be in way better position. That's the reason why it's good that we're not all fortune tellers and we can see the future. You know what I'm saying? But the big record labels, like I said, they're just waiting it out. You know what I mean? After they sue and do this the Suno, I doubt they're gonna come down. You know what I mean? Because we're in the era of AI. But what will happen is that eventually, once it's commercially accepted that AI is now a thing, etc., then we're gonna start seeing this happen.
For really just about 150 years. And I was thinking about this. I go, well, there was the invention of the phonograph by Thomas Edison, and this was in 1877. I was looking at how this thing works. I think it's fascinating.
It's called a tinfoil phonograph because the recording medium, the record, was a sheet of tinfoil.
But in any case, this was the first time that sound was able to be captured by a device, and then we figured out how to replicate it, and then we figured out how to make money from it. So then in corporations stepping in to say, okay, there's something that we can make money on. And so now they are like, how can we commercialize music? Because we know that music is one of the most powerful ways to get people to do things. And of those doing things, it's buying tickets and coming to shows. It's buying merchandise. Are we surprised that now they're like, well, if AI music is becoming popular, why wouldn't we jump in to then commercialize it? Now there's problems. And we kind of saw this with Timbaland being like, he's going to have his AI label and his AI artist and all this stuff. And there's been a lot of pushback just being like,
Timbaland. You know what it is with Timbaland, yeah? He's a legend at the end of the day, and I'll always say it. And the guy's a legend, let's be real. But I think with him, he's always been such an innovator that at a point, I feel like it applies to every single innovator anyways. Like, they get to a point where innovators start to push past the boundary and they forget the foundation of what they were initially for. Do you know what I mean? And for someone as big as Timbaland to now go into this and be like, okay, cool, I'm going to basically dive deep into this whole bag, which is AI artistry and stuff like that. It makes sense as to why he's getting pushback, because out of all people, they don't necessarily like expect someone like Timbaland to basically do that. But at the end of the day, he's always been an innovator. So can we get mad at him for trying to innovate again? I don't necessarily believe so. And maybe this pushback that he's getting right now in a couple of years, people are going to eventually forget that they pushed back on Timbaland, and it's going to end up becoming a case of, oh yeah, we always knew Timbaland's a genius, because it's similar to when Kanye was trying to bring singing and being a normal person into hip hop, right? Into a gangster infested hip hop culture. at the time, right? This guy was just talking about how, you know, he was a college dropout, how he was trying to become the best at rapping and as a producer. He was talking about different type of subjects, right? And he was being innovative. And back then he got pushback. But now when we look back at it, Kanye is the GOAT. Let's be real. So maybe Timbaland doing this is a form of that. I don't know, but we will never know. We'll never know. It's all about just making educated decisions right now and just basically taking it as it is. I like this lady's format as well, the way that she's able to put content together and just report on it like media as well, man. So definitely go and subscribe to her content, man, because it's very, very informative.
Being like, he's part of the problem. He normalized this. He made it seem like this is okay, but a lot of the criticism is that what is the cost to human-made music? So I had mentioned about I'm Oliver, and I was looking today because the creator, the AI artist, I'm Oliver, got a deal. And this was through the same record label. And the song Stone had received something like 3 million streams on Suno, right? So it's like, there's interest. There's a product, which is the AI music. And so Q record label jumps in, let's sign a deal, and we're going to release it onto all, major music streaming platforms. This is what's interesting. I was looking on Spotify for this release, and right now it has 8,000 streams on Spotify. So what I can see is I go, well, to me, it seems that that audience, that interest, the virality didn't translate into music streaming platforms. Now, I don't know how it's doing on elsewhere, but that's what I.
That's very, very interesting. Like, it only got 8K on Spotify. And the thing is that, let's say, for example, you got independent artists. Like, I know bare guys that, without putting ad budget behind their music releases or having a proper marketing campaign, they've been able to achieve way more than that. So that's very interesting. And I can only imagine from the label's perspective, if they put a lot of money into that first deal, and they only seen 8K back, it's kind of like, damn, like, do you know what I mean? But you already know, like I said, it's high risk, high reward within this game.
That's what I can see. So going back to Monet, as I'm like looking at this AI avatar, right? So I
feel like what, Monet, I'll just call her Monet, right? What Monet did that was right, or the person behind her, was the fact that, okay, cool, it's not actually officially signed and stuff like that. But she had already built up an audience and was releasing before she had that record label deal. So it's the same fears. And even for, artists and stuff like that are watching this video, you need to learn how to build that authenticity and that consistency that people are able to now love you for you, and you can funnel them into whatever you got going on, whether it's the music or the merch, etc. You feel what I'm saying? So she did it, technically speaking, correct. She did it correct. And I feel as though the fact that she has the AI element to it, it's just been a bit easier because she doesn't have to do the music videos and this and that, but she's allowed her creativity to speak for herself. So there's good and bad in this, but it's still like, it's scary.
So the imagery, that's what we're all looking at, the voice, the music, all the things. What do we know is actually human created? So the actual creator is making the lyrics. And as reported by Billboard, the actual person, Miss Jones, is like, I want to own the sound recordings. I'm confident that I actually own the songs. And here's the thing, the last time that we looked at the terms of service for Suno, that in fact is the case. If you have a paid subscription, then you're good to go. You own the outputs that you create. But the thing that I kind of, had a big question mark when I read this, I'm like, well, this person is talking about, I own the AI songs that I'm creating as well as the compositions. And I go, that doesn't sound correct. But I don't know everything that this person input into Suno, because from what I'm reading, this doesn't seem to be a situation where it was just lyrics and some prompts, meaning the AI did everything else. What I was reading is that there actually were live elements also put in. And I go, I don't know what that means. Does that mean that you were giving some vocal ideas and so you just had the AI kind of create the new voice? So I don't know everything that kind of went into this other than the lyrics, but as I'm listening to the different songs from this creator, the lyrics are pretty good. It's hard to deny the lyrics are pretty good. So
the lyrics they're decent, man. They connect. Like, it's actually good lyrics, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. She's a good songwriter. Like, if she was around the right type of people and got the right type of cut, she probably would have written for Kalani or SZA or these type of people. Potentially, I don't know, but potentially.
So as I look at this and I go,
but we already know in that type of game, because for example, like even the placements that me and my my boy have that didn't come out is a competitive game, man. You can put bare work in. I remember we were grinding for like 6 months straight on like Drake on the Drake campaign, etc. And then, bro, like nothing came out. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of disheartening. So the fact that she's able to basically do this herself and release, as someone that's been through it, I kind of understand the benefits of just being able to kind of do that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's gonna get very scary. Very scary. And the thing that's gonna be so peak is that when it's just like anything, man. When a platform first comes out, the terms and conditions are always cool. Then all of a sudden, over a period of time and over a few years, they now change their terms and conditions. And all the people that benefited early are now impacted. Same thing happened with YouTube. YouTube used to be a place where you were free to say anything, freedom of speech. All of a sudden, they became more PC. Once it became more PC, guess what happened? Bans, copyright claims, channels getting pulled down. Do you know what I mean? So things change over time. Now, in saying this, we'll just have to wait and see the impact that AI basically has. But like I said, the fact that this lady was able to make 3 million from this is impressive to say the least, but it's also very telling of the times and it's scary. We'll see, man. If you guys enjoy this this content, make sure to like, comment, and make sure to subscribe. I'll make sure to see you guys in tomorrow's video. And the most important thing is go and actually support Lawyer Reacts, right? Because at the end of the day, the top music attorney, she has a lot of game, man. She has a lot of game, and to be honest, she's going to be one of the people that I watch content from every single day or every other day or whenever she uploads, man. I can't lie, because she's proper, man. Proper game. Can't lie upon them.